Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're looking at something quite specific but potentially really useful if you're planning travel to Austria.
That's right. We've got an official bulletin here about a pretty significant update to their visa application process.
Yeah, especially if you're looking at business travel or maybe a longer stay, this could actually make things maybe a bit easier for you.
Definitely. It looks like it could save some time, maybe some hassle too, for certain types of applications.
Okay, so let's jump right in. We're talking about a change Austria rolled out effective this May, right?
Mhm.
May,
So the bulletin names two. The business visa, that's for your shorter trips like conferences, client meetings, that kind of thing.
okay.
And also the D visa, that's the one for longer stays, think studying, long-term work assignments, settling there for a bit.
Interesting. So short business hops and the big moves. That covers quite a few people. So what was the deal before? I'm guessing appointments were mandatory.
Pretty much, yeah. For most things, the standard was you had to go online, find a slot at the visa application center, book it, and then go submit your paperwork.
A familiar pain point for many travelers.
Absolutely. So this new walk-in thing for the business and D visas, it basically lets you skip that whole appointment booking step.
Okay, that sounds like the major plus here. Just convenience, really.
Right.
No appointment needed for these two. That seems like a pretty big deal, doesn't it?
It really could be, yeah. I mean, imagine your travel plans suddenly firm up, or you get a last-minute meeting request in Vienna. This flexibility means you don't have to cross your fingers hoping for an appointment slot. It seems like Austria might be trying to smooth the path a bit for these specific travelers.
So who does this help the most, do you think? It sounds like it's geared towards people maybe on a tighter schedule.
I'd say so. Definitely those needing to arrange business travel urgently, or maybe someone whose plans for a longer stay came together quicker than expected.
Yeah.
Just being able to walk into the visa center, during their business hours could really speed up getting the application formally submitted.
So practically speaking, you gather all your documents, which still need to be perfect, I assume.
Oh, absolutely. That part doesn't change.
Right. But instead of wrestling with an online calendar, you just
Yeah.
show up.
That seems to be the gist of it for these specific visa types. Yes, go to the application center, paperwork in hand, ready to submit. The Submission Act itself is more direct now.
Okay. Now, the bulletin we're looking at, it mentions a service called BTW Visa Services. What's their connection here? Are they like official partners or?
Well, the bulletin mentions them as offering assistance. Services like these typically help applicants navigate the whole process.
How so? Like, what do they actually do?
Things like making sure your documentation is complete, that it's
Yeah.
all correct, helping fill out the forms, which can be, let's be honest, pretty complicated sometimes,
Uh-huh.
and just generally guiding you on the specific requirements for your situation. So even with walk-ins, having someone double check everything can still be really valuable.
Right. Makes sense. So they help you get your ducks in a row before you walk in, potentially avoiding delays or even a rejection down the line because something was missing or wrong.
Exactly. Preparation is still key.
And the bulletin ends with that classic advice. Stay informed. Travel prepared. Can't argue with that.
No, you really can't. It's a good reminder that even when processes change, maybe become a bit easier in one aspect, the responsibility is still on you, the traveler, to know the rules and have everything in order.
Okay, so let's try and bring this home for everyone listening. The big takeaway. Austria, as of May 2025, lets you submit applications for short-term business visas and long-term D visas as a walk-in.
Correct. No prior appointment needed for those two categories. That's the key change, offering more flexibility, especially if you're short on time.
A potentially very welcome simplification for some travelers.
Definitely. And, thinking a bit wider, it does make you wonder, is this maybe a sign of things to come? Could we see other countries streamlining processes like this, maybe for certain trusted traveler groups or visa types?
That's a fascinating angle. Like, is this just an Austrian thing or part of a bigger shift in how international travel is managed?
Yeah.
Balancing security with, making things workable for people?
Exactly. It poses that question about the future direction. Will technology and maybe different risk assessments lead to more direct, less appointment-heavy systems elsewhere?
Something to definitely chew on. How might this kind of shift towards, let's say, more direct submission or processing impact other parts of international travel down the road? We're thinking about next time you're navigating visa requirements.